in this part of the question, what we need to know, we need to understand the graph of quadratic function, how to read it, but what as well happens with it. So let's see. The profit for the third year can be modeled by the function r of x, where r is the profit for the third year in millions of euro, and x is the number of funds in tens of thousands. It produces the company in the third year. So on one axis here we have a profit, and here we have number of funds. And we have the graph of R. We don't have a function given, but we can see it's a graph of R for the value of x being between 0 and 6. Okay, so what do we need to do? At the start of the third year, the company received 3 million in additional funding. As a result, the profit for the third year can be actually modeled by. So all we have that function R, and then we have plus 3 million. So the profit plus 3 additional million in profit. Okay. So what do we need to do? From the graph, estimate, and now I need to understand what that means, and hence work out. So once I do that, then I will be able to work out. First, I need to estimate that. 2, I need to work out the value of R2 plus 3. So what does that mean? So as you can see, normally in the bracket we have x, but this time instead of x we have 2. So basically they are saying when x is 2, they are saying, well, what is the value of y? How do we find it? We go to our table, we find the value of x2. So that's where it is. And then we go across, to read the value of y. And our value of y is 8. So that means the value of R2 is 8. Now they are saying, now that you understand that, work out this. Now what happens to the function, to the graph of the function when we add a number? So when I have any function, doesn't matter what kind of function, and to that we add any number, what happens with the graph? It moves up. So let me just mention at the same time, if, for example, we had a function and there was minus a number, then the graph moves down. Okay, so moves down how much? By the number we are adding or subtracting. So in this case, if I could, I take this graph and just move up 3 units. Now, obviously, we can't do that, so we need to mark some points to make that easier. So what kind of points can we move? So let's say this one is easy because it's at 4, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move that. Then we are looking for another point that is kind of on the line to make it easy to move. So this point, 1, 2, 3. So that's where that's going to be. And I'm saying, okay, how about this point? 1, 2, 3. Now I have to make sure it's in a straight line as much as possible. Then this point, 1, 2, 3. We are moving 3, basically all of them. The same this point, 1, 2, 3. So that's where I'm going to have. Now this is a bit most difficult point. Now the graph of quadratic equation is symmetrical. So more or less, not more or less, my points are symmetrical. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to have that one here somewhere. Then what was the point? I was moving this one here, and then this one here, 3 points, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 points. So that's what I'm going to have here when I'm moving. And again, nice curve. Oh, that didn't go that well. I'm sure you do a better job on the paper than I'm doing here on the screen. But that's what happened. That's the important part of knowledge, to know what happens. So to work out the value of 2 of x, sorry, I think I jumped the gun because the next part is saying to draw the graph, but that's how it will look. So to work out the value, that means what? That when that 2 plus 3, that value here will be 11. And yes, and on the next part, we have to draw the graph. So that's what will happen. That's what we will end up with. But this is the piece of information that is important, piece of knowledge that we need in order to know what to do with the function.